Welcome back to the Jasmine Tea, where we bring you piping hot commentary on your favorite blackity black shows. I'm your host, Jasmine, and today our guest is Alex, my fellow Birmingham Alabamian. How are you doing today, Alex? Welcome to the tea party.
Uh, I'm doing well, Jasmine. I appreciate the invites.
I know we chat a lot in the Instagram DMs about different shows and movies and things, so I'm very excited to have you here. I feel like you'll bring in a lot of different perspective and stuff. All right, so we can go ahead and dive into our what's been brewing segment. That's simply what has the internet been saying and talking about lately in the movie and TV world. And
Uh, oh,
what do you think?
sorry. Uh, right now the fuss is on the Mario Galaxy movie, and it's one of those movies that's really got two divisive corners. On the one
Okay.
side, you've got people who are not fans of the movie because there's no cohesive story to follow through the
Mhm.
movies, and that was a complaint with the first movie 3 years ago.
What are
Uh,
the movies about?
I don't know. It's just I'm on the other camp, which I'm on that camp. So I'm like, for me, there's one part where like I appreciate like the nostalgia and the Easter eggs because the Mario world's been around for 4 decades now, so it's
Yeah, I
good to
love Mario.
see these things familiar from what we've played in the video games growing up
Hmm.
there. Um, I couldn't really tell you what this sequel is about, but it's
Okay.
probably gonna make $1 billion again because people don't care. They just want to see
Yeah, I mean,
Mario.
people love Mario. I mean, I love Mario. I still like to play Mario Kart. I remember we had a Mario Kart Wii game, and we would just sit around as a family and like race each other all the time. So I think it's definitely nostalgic.
Oh yeah, I mean for me I grew up in the world where it was Nintendo 64 was the rage. So like got to play Mario Kart when it first came out
Oh,
then. And
lovely.
it's still a good memory and just what I'm seeing today and how they've expanded the world even last year what they released on the Switch, it's really cool. I really appreciate them being able to continue to be innovative with the games.
Okay, I love it. Well, we'll see. Once it comes out, we can watch it and see what they're up to, see what all the hype's about.
Oh, I watched it. I
Oh,
gave I watched the sequel. It got an F, and people are very angry with my review on it.
okay. All right. Well, that's fine. And we all have different perspectives. Okay. Okay, let's see what else. The Oscars, Oscar season just ended, just wrapped up. How
Yes.
many of the Oscar nominated films did you see?
Yeah. So I checked in. So I look at the best pictures. This is a year where I didn't see as many of the Oscar films that were best picture, but
Mhm.
of the ones I did see, I could say one of them I don't think deserved to be nominated, and the other I'm glad was nominated.
Okay, which one do you think feel like didn't really deserve to be nominated? I didn't see the only one I saw was Sinner, so I don't have as much perspective outside of that.
Yeah. So the one that I don't think deserved to be nominated, period, was Marty Supreme. It was
Okay.
billed as this movie where it was like this guy who's bringing people to the forefront, and it's like a true story of a guy who played ping pong professionally, like in the 40s and 50s there.
Mhm.
Uh, so it was focused on the early 50s, and in the beginning, it started off well, where it was like, okay, you're seeing this guy trying to make a name for himself internationally with here. But then
Okay.
at the final championship, there's this guy from Japan. Keep in mind, this is like a few years after World War II, and there's having these tournaments here. So, and he's just got the Japan guy. He's got this little technique. You're not. It's like with ping pong, you're just trying to whack and go back and forth. But the Japanese guy, he kind of has this thing where it's like a slice, and so it kind of throws the opponents off there.
Okay.
So the Japanese guy ends up winning, and Marty just absolutely goes ballistic, saying he's cheating, that he's like that. So the story continues. Its focus is he wants to get over to Japan to get to the next international tournament, and that's where things go off the rail. I say it like this. If you've ever played The Legend of Zelda, you know there's a lot of side quests going on. And the problem is that in this movie, during that process of trying to get there, it's just we go off the rails. Like it's him trying to get money and just kind of like hustling people. And
Okay, I've heard it's a lot of different, like, I've heard one of my other podcasts I listened to called, I think it was The Friend Zone. Maybe they were talking about it, one of them. But I did hear he just had a lot going on.
It just there was so much, and by the time we got back, it just like too much had happened. I stopped caring. It's like I hated Marty, I hated the story, and the only person that was sane in that entire place was the millionaire guy. Out of
Ah,
everyone there, he was the only one who was grounded in this whole movie. There, I also think Kevin O'Leary should have at least gotten a supporting actor nom for just
hmm.
being a stable character.
That's pretty fair. Okay, what was the opposite? This is the one you, what was your other?
Sinners.
Lovely, lovely. Elaborate.
Yes. So it's interesting how they start the beginning with the aftermath. It really
Mm,
builds up just like what the hell happened in this movie. And you see it's a very interesting time with how it is. I think it's in the 1920s when this is all occurring here. So you're coming in an era where it's not only where you have like the before the Great Depression hits, but you're also dealing in the South and Mississippi here. So you're really
yeah.
seeing the segregation up front there. There, it's very and just seeing kind of like how it played out with him getting the property and what happened at the end on just fighting back at the guys trying to kill them. That was just I was I feel like wild's a generic term in this case, but it just felt epic to me. Just seeing just it's like a world of like what if you could fight back?
Yeah, being able to go on like the full circle with them, like the whole journey.
Yeah.
I grew up, of course, I'm from the South and my dad's a minister, so I spent a lot of time in church. So that was like relatable moment for me. Like even after all he went through with like the music and the band and the what's the banjo, guitar, whatever it was.
It was a banjo, I believe.
The banjo, and when he made it back to the church the next morning, it was still just like I told you about that devil, like I was happy to see him leave. I was happy to see him be able to go off and kind of decide to live his own life and journey. I guess that was kind of resonating. Like the people and their ideologies here are going to be the same, but you can have your own experiences and go live your own life.
Yeah. The one thing I do appreciate from the story is that he decided to continue life uh, just as a mortal, being able to continue living his life, live life being with music and not letting the experience with the vampires deter him from that either.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was like just so many great things to enjoy about that movie. I love seeing the cast during all the Oscar nom season, like the award season for all the different events and things they went to, their wardrobes, just how communal they seem amongst each other. That was fun. I also liked during the Oscars when they were like having the performance, like the musical performance with like all the different performers and things, and Misty Copeland during her ballet.
Mhm.
I thought it was funny when they had Remick and his true crew try to come up and get on stage. I like Remick. Remick is like one of the best movie villains I feel like I've seen in a while.
Yeah. The one thing yeah. And the one thing as far as like outside of Best Picture awards, the one I was most excited for was Amy Madigan getting the Best Supporting Actress.
Okay, tell me more about that.
So Weapons was like the main horror film that was built on this Oscar list. The trailer itself is interesting because first they tease it, you just see like kids kind of with their arms thrown back and just all around the middle of the night. You don't know what's going on there. And even in the trailer, you still don't quite know what's happening until you come into the movie. And so what Amy happens is Amy comes in as she comes in known as like this very ill aunt who's going to die soon. But what the kid finds out very eventually is that she's like this witch who has this power to be able to control people.
Okay,
So
that sounds
she has,
interesting.
and so first he's having to. It starts off first being able to listen to what she says, or else she'll have his parents killed who are already under her trance there.
Oh,
And so eventually gets to a point like how did this happen? Well, he gathered some items from the school associated with each kid, and she used those items to be able to control them. So it's like using people as
like
so
they're
like weapons, because what
yeah.
happens is if you've got them under the power, she can be able to use them as a way to kill other people who get in her way.
It reminds me of the Barbie movie, like when all the Kens like spread the patriarchy amongst the Barbies and kind of like had them under their spell. Sounds like that.
Yeah, something like that. But I mean, with that, at least we just got like a fun montage of the Ken battling there.
I'm just kidding. Okay, speaking of witches, there is a new Harry Potter series coming out on HBO this Christmas. Are you a Harry Potter fan?
Yes, love Harry Potter.
What house are you?
Got, you know, I've thought about that every now and then because I had to figure out where I would land. And I feel like in the end, I'd be in the Ravenclaw.
Okay, they have a test on the what is it called? Pottermore.com. They'll
Hmm.
sort you.
I
To-
think yeah, just based on kind of what I understand about the houses and what they
Mhm.
each represents. I think with Ravenclaw, just really the value of just knowledge. I'm just normally like a detail attentive person, so I think I would fit well into that category.
I agree. I can see that. I'm a Gryffindor. I went to Harry Potter World for the first time last year for my birthday. That was really fun.
Oh.
I got a wand with my name on it, all that jazz. So I'm excited for the Harry Potter series. I think it's going to do crazy numbers coming out on Christmas, like all the families at the house together, watching in the pajamas. It's going to be great. And I haven't seen, I'm trying to like stay away from it so I can just like experience it naturally and see how I feel. So I haven't done too much like research about it into like the cast members and things. Like I've seen like the main three kids, of course.
Yep.
And I know that Professor Snape is going to be black in the season. That's been causing a lot of controversy amongst some people, but I'm excited to see it nevertheless.
Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, as far as with Professor Six, this is not the first time I've seen people get up in arms because they weren't the same race. We already
Oh,
witnessed
remember Rue from the Hunger Games?
and Little Mermaid with.
Yeah, Hallie.
I mean, for me, it's like look, I just focus like, can you portray the character as intended here? Can
Hmm.
you tell the story with like this? That's all I really care about there. Uh, so but as far as what I've seen with the pictures in comparison, I think with a lot of them, they've done really well with the casting. I am surprised John Lithgow's coming in as Albus Dumbledore.
I know, yeah. I saw him in his beard in like a few photos.
One thing I didn't see, and I think it's interesting, is who they haven't casted yet for Peter Pettigrew, the
Oh,
one who ends
okay.
up who starts off as Scabbers, Ron
Mhm.
Weasley. And I'm actually going to send you something on Instagram right now because I have an idea who could be the perfect person to play this role.
Okay, let's see. Oh, no, you're right. What is this dude's name? What have I seen?
Perez Hilton.
They do. Is this? Wow, I haven't seen him in a minute. He looks, I mean, this side by side comparison. Did you make this?
Yeah, I had to find the pictures and put together because
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, you're pretty spot on here. I haven't seen Perez in a minute. Did he lose? He looks like he lost weight, right?
I think he's going through like a big health battle right now.
Oh, okay.
Um,
All right.
I think he did lose weight, but currently he's in the news because he's having health battles. I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know how serious the health is, but anytime I've seen like this character here, I always thought, Perez Hilton would make a
they
great
do have it. It's right
one.
here. I can see it in the eyes and the nose, like the little squint. I can see that. I can
The
see that.
facial features are very similar too.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, who knows? The series is supposed to go on for have 7 seasons,
Okay.
like the books. So I'm excited to see like what all makes it in there. I wonder how many episodes will be in each season, like how much of the story they'll get to tell.
Hmm.
So yeah, we'll see. Okay, and then last thing in our oh no, not last thing. So also I had what? Did I skip something?
Um, I think you had cast comparisons followed by
Oh,
J.
and J.K. Rowling. I just wanted to share my general disappointment for her existence and her transphobic and all the hate filled, yeah, that's it. Hate filled views she spews so often. Like as much as I love Harry Potter and all the things that come from it, it always just kind of gives me a bit of a cringe at the same time because I feel like she's gonna get some type of like, kickbacks, money from it. And she's just been pretty wow.
Yeah. I mean, one thing yeah, with I usually I'd say in those moments I've learned from personal experiences, you know, when people show you who they are, believe them.
Yeah.
And the second thing is, um, you can never really control how to change someone's mind or opinions, no matter how vile they are. And so it's just learning to know kind of what your values are in your life and how you want to behave. And I guess J.K. Rowling, really Russell, has really caused a lot of controversy with people on her views. It's just that could be set as the example of what not, what the opposite of what you want to be in that.
I agree with that very much so. Very much so. She created such a creative and expansive and big world. It was
Mm,
just disappointing to hear that some of her views felt so small.
mm. Well,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
Spring, summer movie releases. The things are coming up. The warm weather is here. Some ones that I actually saw the drama yesterday. I went to the movie
Oh, I haven't yet.
with Zendaya and I always say the Twilight Man, but Robert Pattinson. It was good. It wasn't what I couldn't have expected. I went in blind, so I
Mhm.
didn't know what to expect or see. Yeah. I don't want to. I'll just let you watch it first, and then we can circle
Okay.
back on it later. But it was a good. It was drama. It's
Okay.
definitely not a rom com, as they've been saying and letting you know. It was just an interesting subject matter. So yeah, now leave
Okay.
it there.
All
But they
right.
both did their jobs, and they supporting cast people. They did their jobs.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm also looking forward to You, Me, and Tuscany. That is a rom-com. I'm a sucker for like good lovey stories. And Halle from Little Mermaid is starring in that. Of course, The Devil Wears Prada 2.
Yep.
That's one of like I remember we had The Devil Wears Prada on like VHS tape or DVD, whatever it was. We could like that was one of the movies we could just like pop in and watch as a kid a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So Meryl Streep and Anne Hathaway, very excited. What are you keeping your eye on?
Oh, obviously, Michael.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yes. His nephew's playing him.
Yep, Jafar Jackson.
Yeah, when does that come out? I gotta add it to my calendar.
That is coming out near the end of April, so it's the week before Devil Wears Prada 2.
Okay.
From what I've seen with the track listing, it looks to me it's going to be a two-part biopic, is
Hmm.
my guess there, because they're only getting scratching the surface to the bad era. That's as far
Okay.
as they're going, is just judging by the track listing. So it wouldn't surprise me if we get to the theaters and it says Michael Part One, like they did with Wicked.
Okay, all right.
But that's one of the immediate ones I'm looking forward to. Aside from that, I'm looking. I just saw the trailer for Supergirl, and
Hmm.
uh, I really want that to be a really good one. It looks good so far. There, and then we've got in July the Odyssey by Christopher Nolan. There,
Okay.
the one who did Oppenheimer a few
Ah,
years.
yes. I chose Barbie. Oppenheimer seemed like a lot, but people did say it was good.
Yeah, I mean it's a 3 hour movie, so it was a lot, but I thought it was well done too. But yeah, I had to just went to see that first because it's a 3 hour movie, and I want to be
Hmm.
able to go through, and then I want to have fun with Barbie. That's how I went through
Yeah,
Barbenheimer weekend.
that makes sense. That makes some Barbenheimer movie. Oh, what a time to be alive. Okay, and then the last thing I have on here is I don't know, do you watch reality TV? Do you dabble in the reality TV worlds?
Hmm.
So, The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, their main star, their diva, their Beyonce is Taylor Frankie Paul. And she was also cast to be the season's Bachelorette. So
Hmm.
the interwebs has been buzzing because her ABC canceled her season after a video came out that involved like her and her child's father getting into a domestic violence situation and even
Hmm.
appearing to like have their child get hit with something at one point. So they pulled the plug on that. Very surprising to a lot of people. But I don't even watch The Bachelorette. Or I'm not in Bachelor Nation, but I do watch Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. Are you in Bachelor Nation?
Oh no! If it were to me, if this were a thing forever, I would be part of Flavor of Love
Oh
Nation.
my God, Flavor of Love. That is a classic.
Yeah. But coming into here, I haven't watched. It's been a long time since I even watched Bachelorette. But at least from the story that I've heard on this one, I am. It's the first time I've really seen something like pull the plug like days beforehand because there's
Hmm.
information. And in this case, that's not something I put on Taylor in that case. This is a network decision. They knew there was video of this out there
Hmm.
and they still decide to bring her in, go through and film a whole season. and start doing these promotions there. So I think there's a responsibility on the part of ABC to be
Yeah.
able to not have a situation like that. Why they did in the first place, I'm not really sure on that, on there. But
I thought it was a very odd choice as well. I don't know how old, well, I think Taylor's like 30 something. But if you watch the Mormon live show, she doesn't come off as very mature. Like she makes a lot of erratic decisions, and you can clearly see she's still quite entangled with her child's father. So when they announced that she was going to be the Bachelorette, I was like, who made that decision?
yeah, I don't. Yeah, it's one where it's one where with when it comes on reality TV shows like Real Housewives. I haven't really been into the franchise saga there, but from what I've seen, it's really opening up your life to everyone there. And
Mhm.
part of at least what I hear is there it becomes this brand to be able to stay a certain typecast way you present yourself without getting out, and whether that's just from the pressures of staying relevant to a show or
Yeah.
just kind of how you are. It can be something that can be exhausting to keep up, and I think with that it's just it can be difficult to be able to have a line between what you present to the public and what you keep in
What's real?
private.
Yeah. Well said. Well said. And now for a commercial break. If you like what you're listening to, remember to follow the Jasmine Tea, all one word, on YouTube to see our expressions, reactions, and our graphics in action. Then leave us a review on whatever platform you're listening on. We love hearing from you and want to make sure we're getting all relatable content. Now, back to the show. I'm going to read that again.
Okay.
If you like what you're listening to, remember to follow the Jasmine Tea, all one word, on YouTube to see our expressions, reactions, and show graphics in action. Then leave us dang, why does things always tear me up?
No, you're good. You're good. You're doing fine. You're doing good.
Then leave us a review on your favorite streaming platform. We love hearing from you and want to make sure you're getting relatable content. Now back to the show. All right, now we're heading into our what's been piping, no, our piping hot moment. And we're just gonna like bounce it back and forth, sharing some of our favorite watches from Q1 in 2026. So I'm gonna pop it off with Paradise because I know we've both been watching that. So you've seen the finale.
Yes.
Okay, and your name is Alex. Da 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 da, Destiny.
No,
So tell
yeah.
me.
This. Yeah. I'm no AI bot here.
I didn't, once they started like that, well, I can't remember what episode it was when they first started wiping their nose. I was wondering what was going on, but I didn't know it
Hmm.
was going to take like a sci-fi spin. I thought that Alex might be a computer or maybe just like some other secret scientist person in the dungeon. I mean, in the bunker that nobody knew about. But it was really good. I felt like it kept my attention every episode. I enjoyed getting to know all the other different characters. I was sad to see Annie die so soon. But
Hmm.
now that I know that Alex, this supercomputer, has been like having a, I don't know, impact in here all the ways and things, I'm interested to see how it all threads together.
Yeah. I think going back to the season two, I think going into the first three episodes, I think it was good they released those out at the same time because it was set up the story for like the three main arcs for the season, with
Mhm.
X being able to find his wife in Atlanta, and then it was what was going on at the bunker after X had left, and then this new story about that someone who is not saved on the day for the bunker and being able to live through the aftermath in Graceland of all places.
Mhm.
Just setting up the characters that would be relevant for the season there. So we had with Annie and Link showing up there, and then you start building out to where X meets with Annie and being able to get the traveling they had with Atlanta, and then she sadly passes after childbirth, which God,
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting that. I really hated that.
But it was also very real. Like I was even thinking about that. Like when they showed like the clip of her belly, I was like, oh my God, who's gonna help her deliver a baby? Like, is she gonna have all the things she needs, you know?
And then we get it, and we get to Atlanta, and we come to Gary
Yeah,
there. And
Gary.
I was very interested to see the background story. And, at first it seemed like, at least with Gary and Terry, it seemed like okay, the boundary was set. And then once I seen him actually shoot in, it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what's gonna happen now. This just got interesting.
Yeah.
And then going back to the bunker, we really see kind of Sinatra recovering from the hospital after getting
Getting shot by Jane.
that
Yeah.
Jane knew. And it wasn't, I was very surprised Jane was open up when she said that she was a killer. I was like, okay, this is okay. We're
She's
not
know who
hiding.
she is, you know?
So it made me wonder, well, why was Jane selected for the day here? Like, how did she get through
Okay.
this process? Because we know Sinatra knew about Billy's background there, and I'm wondering how much we knew she knew about Jane, given that her records were a lot of redactions going on there. But I think as far as everything wrapping up with the finale, I had a feeling with the Project Alex, it was leaning like some kind of machine and not a person, and that ended up
Okay.
proving to be correct. I was very shocked that Sinatra being killed off at the very end. I was not expecting that so soon there.
I thought somebody, well, one, if anybody had the job, I'm glad it was Sinatra and not like one of the other, well, I don't know. No, I'm just leaving it at her. Um, Dang, what was I about to say? Oh, one thing that surprised me in the finale when they were like when Link and his crew were outside and everybody else was in the bunker trying to figure out like what do we do? Do we evacuate? Do we stay or not? They were acting so afraid. They were acting like on one end they were saying like, "Oh, this bunker can withstand like a nuclear hit." And then on the other hand, they were acting kind of afraid that Link and his crew might actually make it inside. Which one is it?
I think another one, I wish this was highlighted in the finale. We didn't really see we briefly just saw kind of Link holding the baby there. I was kind of wishing it was like some time being able to actually someone bring the baby to him in person and not just
Yeah,
after
he
dark.
did kind of just had a baby. Yeah.
It just seemed to be kind of like an afterthought, and I felt like that was a missed opportunity, and given there was that connection with Annie and Graceland, and
The
being able to get
sentiment
some more
moment.
time for that.
Maybe we'll see more of their relationship I wonder how far ahead they'll jump, like in season three. Like if the baby, like if Annie, her name is Annie now, she'll still be a baby or she'll be like, walking or something.
I don't know because it seemed like with the finale, it was leading up to like some immediate movements. It's
Hmm.
like look, going to Denver to find another bunker 100 miles out, and then you've got, which I remember seeing this. Suddenly the shower was empty. Like, where's
Yes, where is
Jane?
Jane? Yeah, she's very sneaky, that one.
Hmm.
Okay, what was the show you really enjoyed?
So I really enjoy. Well, as far as reality TV right now, I'm going through season 50 of Survivor. So
Oh, yes.
yeah. So right now it's just like it's the first all returning cast since season 40 when they brought back all former winners or
Okay.
almost all former winners. But this one is like bringing back people from as recent as season 49 to someone way back to season one, 25 years
Oh,
ago.
wow. Okay.
And so it's 24 people, which is the most the most players of any season of Survivor, and you got 26 days to play the game, which it's
Mm.
already getting crazy. I won't reveal what's been going on so far, but um,
You can go ahead. I don't watch it.
yeah. So I mean, right now we're in the middle of the merge area, so we're at 14 people right now, and last week was crazy because it was the big merge, and it was titled Blood Moon was the episode,
Oh,
and what
okay.
that meant was two people got safe just from having to go to Exile Island, and there was just a whole different how that happened was a whole different thing from the normal way. And then the Muni Challenge, people were split into three groups of five, and someone in each group had to be voted off. So it was a triple
Oh.
elimination, which had never been done before on Survivor.
It's
And
it's Sari on this season.
she is.
So she's my only Survivor reference because I watched her season of the Traders.
Mhm.
But I know she's never won before, right? She's never won
Sur-
Survivor.
She's known as the best Survivor player to never win. And
Okay.
if we're being honest, she should have won her second time in Micronesia back on season 16. But the reason it didn't happen was because there were so many medevacs that season
Mm,
that what was going to be a final three suddenly became a final two. And she didn't win the immunity and got voted out.
dang.
But this is supposed to be her last go around here, no matter what
I don't blame
happens.
her.
She is one of the most adaptable players I've ever seen from this show. And it just comes down to like her social game is something I've never seen replicate before. She just knows how to make you feel good. You kind of want to work with her, even though she's not the most physical threat and challenges there. I don't think she's even won an immunity challenge in the 5 times she's played before. But
Mm.
she's just someone that you feel like you just want to keep around. And it's always like at the end point where it's like something happens, but she goes out in the craziest way as possible.
No, well, I mean, I can stand up on that. Okay, let's see. Another show I really enjoyed so far, or in Q1, was Blue Therapy on Netflix. And so it's this show where all these different couples come to a therapy session, like a couples therapy session, and they have this counselor. And she kind of works with them through all their issues. And it was just a wide variety of jaw-dropping chaos in my idea. I mean, to me. Like it wasn't like it was just a lot of egos, infidelities. One man was hiding the fact that he had been unemployed for like was it 2 years? It was a long time.
Wow.
His partner had no idea. It was a lot. It was a lot. But it was very intriguing because of the mess. I like mess and drama. So Blue Therapy was one I enjoyed. And on that same note of messy relationships, 56 Days on Amazon Prime. That was like a drama. And so it was a series that started off with kind of like Paradise. We started off at the end. And so like the opening scene is like this bathtub and this severely decaying body laying in it. And it turns out to be the apartment of this guy who is dating this really intriguing, kind of mysterious woman. And so the series kind of like catalogs the previous 50 or the 56 days of their relationship that led up to somebody being dead in the bathtub. And it was a good one. Like I didn't know you start off kind of thinking like, of course, they killed each other. Then it kind of turns and you're wondering, did somebody else kill one of them? So it kept me engaged throughout. I liked that one as well.
Are you someone who kind of like subscribes to like crime and drama, murder mysteries?
I am not. I can't stand the murder, 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 kill, kill. Like the people who watch the murder shows before they go to bed and stuff. It's just a little too gory for me. I can watch it when I do like a murder mystery, like docu series or something, but I have to watch it in the daytime with a light on, like, and not too much. All right,
Yeah.
what's next on your list?
What's next on my list? What am I watching? Well, I am watching a therapy show, but it's more so in the sitcom area. So I'm going through season 3 of
Oh,
Shrinking
is
right
it
now.
Shrinking?
Mhm.
Yes, I've watched Shrinking. But I didn't know. I saw a TikTok that was talking about season three coming out, and so I went back. So I'm still somewhere in season one.
Okay. Yeah. So I ended up playing last year. I ended up just focusing a lot on like catching stuff on streaming because I just hadn't really done it as a normal habit. So it was actually a show recommended to me by my younger sister. So I
Okay.
caught up on the 2 seasons last year, and so this is the first time where I'm really catching the season as they're bringing in the episodes.
Yeah.
But as far as what we know, since you're on season 1, I'll just say as far as what we know, the guy's a widower who's still in the
Mhm.
grief mode with his wife passing away so suddenly. And one day he just gets to a point where he does a new method called jimmying, where he pretty much just tells his patients, look, this is what's going on, do this.
Yeah.
He starts getting more involved with the patients than probably what's ethically required from your average.
Very much so.
Oh yeah, it reminds me a lot of Scrubs, just in
Oh,
a
I didn't watch Scrubs.
session.
Uh-huh.
But that makes sense given that I know that Zach Braff is involved with directing some of the
I
episodes.
have to know that. Okay, okay. Let's see. There's a guy on Shrinking. Sean's character, Luke Tenney.
Mhm.
He's also, I just saw him on Thursday's episode of The Pit on HBO. He's
Mm,
on there. And then I saw him in something else. He's just everywhere right now, is what I was trying to say. He's just everywhere.
mm.
He was a night shift doctor on the.
Okay.
Let's see. I'm glad you're watching Shrinking. I enjoyed it. Well, I'm enjoying it so far. It's like my kind of like one of the main series I'm into at the
Hmm.
moment. Let's see. The last one I was going to talk about, Paradise. Oh, I just watched last week on Netflix The Life and Death or The Death and Life of Lamar Odom. I was like, I've never watched The Kardashians, but I do remember like Lamar and Chloe getting married.
Hmm.
And I remember like the whirlwind that was their marriage, and when it started coming out about him having different drug related issues and addictions. And then when he almost overdosed at that brothel. So the seeing the documentary on the back end of it and like seeing all the little details behind, wowzers. I never thought I would really agree with a Kardashian, but poor Chloe, like that man really took her through there. He took her around.
Yeah, I remember just reading and hearing news about it. Like you, I didn't really delve into it a lot. But I do remember the scenario. I do remember hearing the news how he almost ended up dying from just a lot of stuff going on there. And uh, it is it. I'm glad it's just like a one-off special, just kind of hearing the story. I don't think it needs to get delve any further than that. But I guess I get it. But it does sound something where it's like you get a little bit more behind the curtain of what was going on beyond just like the headlines.
Yeah, and something that surprised me was how honest he was about how he was intentionally looking to benefit from the Kardashians' fame, wealth, money, and lifestyle. Like he was open about how when I went on a date with Chloe and I saw how she was living, I was like, yeah, I want to live like that. All right, well
Well,
let's not even pretend.
I mean, of course, it's. I mean, they just know how to. They're very experts at promoting the brand, the Kardashian brand. There, being able to get
Yeah.
into the makeup business. Yeah, we've seen
But
with.
at the time, Chloe said they weren't making that much money yet. Now I don't know what she considers that much money. I'm sure her little money is probably a lot to us, but she says they weren't making that much money yet. Because they were like he was mostly tricking and balling at that point. But she just seemed when she talks about it, like the clips they had of her in there, it seemed like she really was in love and like she really was more invested with her heart. And I'm not saying Lamar didn't like her,
Mhm.
but he clearly had some more like malicious intent going into it. Like, oh, of course it's easy to like her because all
Yeah,
these great things come with being around her.
yeah, yeah.
And just all the drugs and stuff. Like, dude, the way he talks about crack, and like his first hit or the experience or whatever, you could see the addiction, like you could believe it. Basically, you could see that he was kind of even just like thinking back to that moment, like, sir,
Mhm.
he was gone. Oh, and they had his kids in there. He has a son and a daughter. Mm,
I didn't know that.
a son and a daughter, and he also had one child who passed away while they were still a baby. Remember hearing about that, but and I feel like that probably had a lot to do with some of the pain and stuff that he carried around. But they did have his first. I don't think they got married, so I'll just say his oh well, she's his only children's mom, his baby mama. They had her in there and talking about like their early years and when they got together. And it seems she said he was always a charismatic guy, always like for the party type, charming type of dude. Um, so yeah, it was very interesting. I'm not really into sports, but just because I saw them in the headlines so much, I decided to watch it, and I'm glad I did.
Mm.
All right, what is your finale Q1 choice?
Okay, I'll choose one more. I'm going. This one's so a little bit off kilter, but this is an animation show
Okay.
on Amazon Prime. This is called Has Been Hotel.
Oh, what is that?
Imagine this. If Disney ever had the balls to make an R-rated musical about the Princess of Hell, this would be it.
Okay, what is the Princess of Hell?
Okay, so it's about Charlie, who's the daughter of Lucifer
Oh,
and Lilith. And
okay.
so you get a background of like, okay, you get some lore background in the very first episode of like there's there's Adam and Eve will find the apple, but it also presents like before that that Adam actually had a first wife named Lilith, and Lilith is mentioned in I think Jewish mythology there.
Yes, I've heard about
So,
that on the podcast.
so it's presented as Lilith did not want to listen to Adam, so she left him. So then it's God gave Adam a new bride, Eve, and then that
Right.
was the story about Eve and the apple. They're banished to hell, and then
They're banished from the garden. Yeah.
they're banished, and so well actually they're banished from the garden, but actually the focus is on Lucifer and Lilith because they brought because they brought sin into the world, they get banished to hell. So Lilith ends up thriving and in hell. And what the story is that heaven ends up making a choice to exterminate all the hell people in hell so they don't rise up against heaven.
What?
So what happens is it's set up of like hell is for those who kind of who messed up on earth on their life. And what Charlie wants to do is create this rehabilitation program, which is Hasbin Hotel, which is having sinners be able to redeem themselves from their sins, and if they do so, that they can come back into heaven. So it's kind of like she sees it as a way of like maybe not as hell is not a final destination, but as a purgatory for being able to come back into the good graces of heaven and God.
Oh,
And
wow.
it's 2 seasons right now, but there's a lot of musical numbers, and there you get a lot of people on Broadway with voice actors. So it's like you've got Blake Roman, who's the main tenant there, who goes by the name Angel Dust, and then you've got Keith David, who is this like looks like this drunk version of Cat in the Hat named Husk.
That's pretty neat. Okay.
But then you've got who is the lady who was Mirabelle on Encanto? She's in that show too.
I'm not sure.
Oh, Stephanie Beatrice. Stephanie
Okay.
Beatrice. So it's you see this go through season one, just like you learn a little bit more about the world, what they're trying to do, a little bit more of the characters. One that stands out is this guy Alistair, who's smiling all the time. You kind
Oh,
of
yeah.
there's a little more background. You don't know kind of what his intentions are, but he looks like an evil Willy Wonka there. And then you,
Okay.
but it's it's really impactful. The songs are really fun once you get past that. Once you get past how explicit they are.
Right. I can only imagine. It kind of sounds like The Good Place. The when they were, well, kind of like this in between of like heaven and hell, even though The Good Place turned out to be the bad place. But anyway, yeah. Okay, I enjoyed that. I'm gonna have to check that out. It sounds a little interesting. I don't really like musicals. I'll have to see how I feel about the song. How many songs are in there? Are they hitting us like every couple minutes or
No, no. So it's like the first season, it's like two songs an episode in
okay?
there, and then the second season, it kind of varies. Sometimes, most episodes it's two. I think in 1 or 2 episodes, it's like 3 songs, and the finale like has the big song. But it's a show that if the creator, so the creator is Vivian Madrano, who's known as Vivzy Pop.
Hmm.
She'd like to have 5 seasons to be able to tell the full story. We know that
Okay,
there's
that's not
going to
bad.
be 4 seasons right now. And so 2 seasons are done so far. Third season may not come out till next year or early 2028. We'll see. But I would argue that it's a really great show. It's a gem. It's a gem people wouldn't find that wouldn't expect to love.
Okay. Oh, and then one last show is on my mind before we wrap up. House of the Dragon is coming back. You watch that?
I feel like I've heard it, but I don't know much about it.
Ah, did you watch Game of Thrones?
I have not, but
Oh,
I
I'm
know of
so
Game of Thrones.
shocked. Oh my goodness, I'm shocked, Alex. You got to tap in. So you didn't watch A Night of the Seven Kingdoms that came out earlier this year either?
What was that again?
A Night of the Seven Kingdoms?
I've never even heard of that.
Oh my word. I would definitely encourage you to tap into the Game of Thrones world. I think you like it.
No,
Okay.
but do please explain House of Dragon, though.
So House of the Dragon is like a spin-off from Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones is like the tale of the last remaining member of a royal family called the Targaryens. Her name is Daenerys, and she's like everybody else is basically like ripped through her whole line, and she's the last remaining one. So she's like, I'm gonna take this shit over. And eventually she does like rise to the top and gets her get back. Um, And so House of the Dragon is like a prequel to that. Like it goes back to her ancestors and we see like her great great grandmother or something, Rhaenyra, as she's trying to like rise to power. So like her dad's dying and he's like, "Oh my beloved daughter, you're next in line for the throne." But then
Mm,
he dies, her stepmom slides in and it's like, "No, actually, he said my son is supposed to be king." And so now they're fighting and they're at war. And this season that's coming up is actually supposed to begin to the war. Season number one was like laying the foundation. Why are we mad? How are we feeling? Who's on whose side? Now it's like clear, the lines are drawn. We should be getting to the action.
mhm.
So, yeah.
Yeah, a lot's going on.
Yes, and it's a lot of episodes. So like take your time. You know, I watched Game of Thrones over COVID, not over COVID, sheesh. In 2020, like during the lockdown when when we all thought that it was just going to be a 2 week thing. I was like, "Oh, I can finally watch Game of Thrones." So yeah.
Mhm.
But that's it. Thank you so much for joining me here today on the Jasmine Tea.